Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to the forest, shall we? Well, um, we are in a terrifying spot here, but we have managed to create ourselves a shelter, and then we have saved the game. We have a fire, and we are doing okay in terms of food. There is a deer. Here's our water collector that we built, and we might think about wanting to get another one of these, but if I push B to open our book, kind of what I'm thinking about is going into traps and saying, do we want a rabbit trap? Probably, right? And a rabbit trap is going to provide food for us regularly each day. And remember, we want to build them where there are rabbits. And I think actually, let's see here. Oh, looks like another suitcase. Sometimes these things will just like respawn. And you'll just find like, we got a new clothing outfit. Whenever you find these new clothing outfits, these are purely cosmetic, so you can rock these and, they're very nice, but it just changes how your character looks. It doesn't do anything other than that for you. Sometimes I swear, though, that these suitcases, will respawn. You'll just find more of them periodically in places, and always, always, always see if you can get them. Now, it's getting dark, and the sad thing is we already rested, so, we can't really rest right here because our character isn't yet tired, but we should get tired pretty soon and be able to do this. All right. Now, I will, just for fun, I'm going to push I and open up our mat. And actually, I think... Yeah, okay. I put the torch to hotkey 2, and I'm just going to get my lighter out. And I'm going to hold L and just light this up. Just so I can walk around at night. And you see how I'm getting kind of hungry here. Remember, we do have plenty of food to eat. But this is what it's like in this game to walk around at night. And you can see why, even with the lighter, even with a torch, it's just a bad idea. So if you can, I'm going to actually put my torch away. Let's see here. There we go. And so I just kind of switch to my axe, and then the torch goes back in here. And I'm going to push L to get my lighter out of there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sleep. Now you see the wheel filled back up so we can sleep. So I'm going to hold Z and sleep because walking around in the dark is just a bad idea. It's just awful. Okay, so we're hungry and thirsty. First things first, I'm going to save the game. Now, I like to save the game every morning or whenever I'm leaving my house because anything can happen in this game, and you don't want to lose too much progress. There is a raccoon. Yeah, I wanted to try to catch it. It didn't work. Okay. All right. Pick up this stick. Pick up this stick. That's not a stick we can pick up. All right. And let's see if there's any water in our water collector before I go too far. All right. There is none. So that means we're going to have to drink from here and see what we can find. All right. So we have booze. Hey-oh. We can easily just eat this to get a little bit of a snack. By the way, your clothes go here in the bottom right, and you can use this to kind of switch your different outfits around, and I'll eat one more time. Okay. So we can drink this water. Remember, it's not great, but you can drink it. Okay. Let me poke around over here and yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pray for some rain and let's build ourselves a trap. Remember, I'd love to get that deer, but it's just not going to be possible with this axe for me to realistically go after that guy. So what you want to do is build the trap, but you want to be sure that the trap that you're building is... Oh, here's some mushrooms, by the way. Now watch what happens if we try to eat these babies. Good. New plant discovered. So we discovered a new plant. You can push B, and you can open up the nature guide, and these are deer mushroom. And it fills this in, and that appears to be something that we can just rock, and I'll hold down and eat this without any major complication. So that's a delight to discover. All right. I'm going to go down to this big lake and see if we can get, a terrible drink. There is something to eat here, which are, I think, these berries. It says we discovered a new plant. Let's look, push B, and see what we found. Yeah, blackberries. So these blackberries actually give you hydration as well. So they're kind of hiding in the rock. It looks a little weird, but man, eat all of these because you're getting a little bit of water from these blackberries. And so that's a big win for us. All right, we're full on sticks. Mm-hmm. Take that. Okay. All right. There's a rabbit right there. And there's a lizard going after that rabbit or just running from us. So whenever I see if there's another bunny right there, this is a good spot. There's also these mushrooms. So this is a perfect spot to build a trap. So I'm just going to push B, and I'm going to go into our guide, and we're going to flip over to the traps section, and we're going to build a rabbit trap, like right here. Okay. And then from this point, we're going to just push E and put on all the sticks that we can. You see, we need a ton. I mean, just an absolute ridiculous amount of sticks, but these trees are perfect for this. There's some. Okay. And here's another. Oh, wait. Get out of here. Okay. There we go. All right, so we're just going to try to fill in this trap. And this will provide us with food generally every day. There'll be a bunny that's in there, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But let's just kind of get the sticks that we need right away. So you're looking for these smaller trees like this that you can just obliterate easily with your axe, and they will give you sticks. You get sticks if you chop down a big tree, but it takes a while. And you can see that we're good on hunger and we're good on hydration thanks to those blackberries, and we're full on sticks. So remember, look for your little hammer, follow that. Use as many as you can. We can carry 10 at a time, so we're going to need more. Oh, look at this tree right here. Perfect. And is that a stick right there? It almost looked like it. All right, we just need 2 more sticks, which is great. All right, there's a stick. There's a rock. No, we're full on rocks. There's another stick. Perfect. There's a stick. All right, sensational. I'm going to run over here. And I'm going to just put the rest of these sticks on. It's done. So now the trap is armed, and we're just going to leave it alone. And we'll check on it tomorrow. There's Lizard Guy. By the way, you can chase Lizard Man. But there's some suitcases, so let's just get these. There's a cave over there, of course, but as I said, oh, we got some snacks. That's great. I'm not going to be messing around with the caves right now. We have other priorities. So we built the rabbit trap, which is good, but we need some more stuff. I like to have a good base camp here, but we're going to be moving soon to another location where there's more supplies and it's a little safer. You're not on a clock in this game, but from what I understand, it becomes kind of a little bit more difficult as you go. Like, the natives and such will investigate you more readily, so you've got to be prepared. All right. There's that delightful hole. All right. So now that we have the trap, to get this position more established, what I want to do is perhaps build one more water collector. And then also we need to build a drying rack. I'll put the drying rack like right over here next to the fire for convenience. So I'm going to open this, our book, by pushing B. And then I'm going to go to some of the other tabs and look. Let's see. No. Here we go, storage. And no, that's actually not it. Here go the food. Rabbit cage. No, this is it. Drying rack. This is what we need. Okay. So we need to build this drying rack, and I'm just going to put it right here. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Like, let's just make it like this. This looks good. Okay, and then we need 5 sticks, which is pretty easy. This is not as intensive as the trap is to build, mercifully. And there's sticks right here. Great. Almost there. I'm going to chop this. Well, or try. There you go. Okay. There we go. There we go. Bunch of sticks. Perfect. Okay. So let's get back to our drying rack. And we'll finish this. There. Okay. So now, when we get meat, that deer is just like knocking through our campsite. We can put it here so that it won't go bad. And we can even just dry it out. It dries pretty quickly, and you can eat it without cooking it like jerky. So it's super convenient. Now, let's look at some other things that we might want to build. I'm going to go over here into, not shelters. No, fire we're good on. Anything else in this section? Nah. Okay, so let's open this up, and let's just say, what can I build? Oops. What can I build with a stick, right? So if I mouse over the gear, I see I can make a weak spear. I can make arrows. All right, so, I mean, that sounds pretty good. Arrows and such, although I don't have any feathers just yet. So what if I go ahead and combine this and do that? And now we have we have a kind of a bad spear. And if we want to upgrade this, we can add bones and rags. Now, we have a skull, but we don't have any bones. But this is something that we might want to equip. So we can click our backpack, and we have soda at number 1, which we're out of soda. And we have the upgraded stick, which is this, actually. and then we have meds. So I'm actually going to put this at number 1. So I'm going to kind of, oops, where did that go? Here it is. I'm going to combine this with the backpack. And I'm going to combine it, and then I'm going to assign it to number 1. There. So now we've got this spear. Now, the nice thing about the spear is you can actually throw it. So you can hold the right mouse button. You see this, and I'm getting into this like throwing position, and I can throw it. And I could craft like multiple spears if I wanted, and we could maybe try to take down a deer. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and just combine. Let's see here. I want to make... Well, I mean, we could make, with a club, we could make this, which is funny. So we have a crafted club with a skull. I mean, who wouldn't want to hit somebody with that? And then I'm going to remove it. All right. Uh-huh. Okay. And let's just see if we can get this deer. It's right there. It's peaceful. Oh my god. That didn't work. It knew I was coming. Alright, I'm going to push control to crouch. It knows I'm here. It knows. Alright, I'm going to kind of... We got it. All right. I'm picking up all these sticks, and here's a deer. All right, and so when you get it, okay, you first do that. You get the skin. We got 4 meat. So let's go back to our campsite. You know, I might have misspoke. You might not be able to craft multiple spears in this. In many of these games, you can just have a few spears to throw, but maybe you just don't have the inventory space and can only craft 1 copy of it at a time. All right, I'm going to push C, and then you see how I'm hanging up the meat at different stages here. And there we go. And so this meat is just going to sit here on the drying rack, and we could take it off at any time and cook it at our campfire, or we can wait for it to dry, which is what we're going to do. Now, I'm getting a little hungry and a little bit thirsty, but I'm mostly okay. So I'm going to select my axe, and I'm going to run back down to the beach and see if we can get a turtle. There's our trap over there. It's still open, so nobody has come inside. Bunch of suitcases over here. Look at this one. Like I'm telling you, they just keep coming. Chocolate bar, sweet. All right, so I'm going to run, and I got tired. I really only want to go to the beach. I mean, gosh. Do we want to get wild? Let's get wild. I was going to go get a turtle shell, but look at this right here. Right by our area, there is this little campsite. And just scout it out. This is what I like to do. Just kind of scout it out. Like, roll around the perimeter and see if there's any bad guys there. It looks like nobody is there at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of drop down this cliff. And it looks like, yeah, there's a road right here we could take to get back to our campsite. And I'm going to explore what's here. There's lots of little traps. There's money. There's, severed human heads on sticks. Just the basics that you would expect from a fun-loving place like this. There's a chair. Oh, we got a soda. That's cool. So these campsites, there's some tents over here, as you see. There's human remains. these are usually like, I don't want to tell anything about the lore, but it seems like there's other people. Yeah, look at these tents that are like more modern that are here and that aren't doing well. And so you'll find places like this. And what you want to do is ransack these places. Look in every tent. You can save it here. You can even sleep in these tents if you want. But what we're doing is looking for. We got a new item that's been added to the to-do list. What is that? Oh, there's another cave. Explore the waterfall cave. And maybe we found that right over here. All right, I'm going to poke down this way. I always explore these campsites because you could find sometimes, like more modern technology or soda, food, something like that. Not all the time, but it's worth looking at. Just keep your wits about you because, the baddies could arrive. Like that. All right. So, I'm going to run away. In my experience, if the baddies are coming after you, it's usually a good idea to just run away, especially early. They won't always, like you could see a feral guy, he ran away, he was over that hill, it's far away. They won't always follow you. And if you are hostile to the natives, and you start killing them, then they start more actively coming after you. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but it's like you kind of want to just keep your distance if it's possible so that you don't agitate them and have them starting to send death squads out against you. Now we're getting hungry. Remember, we can easily eat with the food that we have, but I'm going to look for a turtle before I go back to camp. So I'm just kind of running along the beach here. We're getting back to the shipping containers. That's where we found the turtles in the first place. Da-da-da. The turtles also give you meat, which is great. It's getting dark. All right. And Sahara Therapeutics. Very therapeutic. Unfortunately, just electronic parts, which just aren't as good as you'd hope. Here's the turtles. Yeah, you can get them, take them, sure. They're beaching. They want to lay their eggs. We have other plans. Okay, we got them. All right. So now we have some meat from the turtle, and we have another collector with the shell. I'm going to run back to our camp. We're getting thirsty. We have that soda we can drink, but before I ever drink a soda, I'm always going to be checking out. Oh, yes, exactly. This. It's raining. Perfect. So our collector... Oh, that was a bad thing to eat. So when you have that reaction, when your character twitches and jumps, no good. Dead tree. All right. Let's get back. Okay. I'm being careful. I don't want to accidentally run off of a cliff or something like that. Here's a cave right here. You can climb down the rope. These cave networks are generally connected, So you can find one entrance and connect to it in another place. The trap is not sprung. We can eat some mushrooms. Just be happy about that. All right. Now we made it, and it hasn't been raining long enough for water to get in here. I'm going to build another water collector. So we're going to go over to here, and we're going to build this water collector right here. And got it. All right, fantastic. And it's not dried yet, the meat. All right. We can rest if we want, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer till it gets slightly darker. Let's see if there's anything else that we want to build. Honestly, I don't want to build too much more at this site. This looks pretty good. Like, we have completed what I want to do at the airplane site. It'll always be here, but we need to move on eventually to start to make progress so that we can have a prayer of surviving further than this. All right, so I'm going to pick up some sticks. Okay, good. You're cold. Build a fire to get dry. Okay, let's build that fire. Where is my fire? Here it is. Light it up. Throw some money on there. There we go. Now we're warm. All right. So now it's legit dark and it's raining. Let me check my collector. Yep. We finally got something to drink. I'm just going to push E and drink it. And it's clean water. And then now I'm going to actually just hold Z and sleep. There's no reason to stay awake in the dark. We wake up. It's a new day. I'm going to push L to put my lighter away. And now we have some more water in here. And we're super hungry, as you can see. But let's come over here to the drying rack. Now, this meat, you see how it's all dark? I'm going to take it, and it says meat collected. I'm going to go to my inventory, and you can see how this is dried meat. And we can just right-click to eat it, and it filled us all the way up. That's how good that is. I'm going to push C to just hang the meat from the turtle that we got. And now the drying rack has given us food. We can take it off. We can carry it with us, which is phenomenal. And I'm going to just check our trap. The trap is not sprung, sadly, so it did not work yet. And then we know there's bunnies in the area, but we just have to be more patient with it. It's raining, which is awesome. Oh my god. Aiming with the spear is not the easiest thing in the world. Oh, okay. Want to try to eat these mushrooms? Don't. They're no good. Alright, we got our spear back. And, you know, we don't really need to eat or drink. We're full on sticks because all of our radials are full. We could hunt another deer, but look at this. With the rain and 2 water collectors, we have plenty. Like, we are good to go. These will fill up more as it rains more, and we will get way more water. And then we have all of this meat up here. So we're doing so well that at this point, you know, it's time for us to start exploring now that we've really established food, water, and shelter in a sustainable way here at this campsite. We could even hunt, you know, all of these deer with the spear if we need to. And we explored a abandoned and slaughtered camp over yonder. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the game, please post those in the comments below. Take care.